Welcome back to HL Restorations Impacting Midwest Industries. I'm your host, Steve Tutt. Let's get to it. All right, well, welcome Jill McCarthy with Kansas City Area Development Council. How are you today, Jill?
Doing great. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Well, thank you so much for coming on our show. We've been excited to have you come on. Tell us a little bit about KCADC and what you do.
Sure. So KCADC is the Kansas City Area Development Council. We are a private not-for-profit solely focused on really new business and talent attraction to the region. So we cover 18 counties, 50 cities on both sides of the state line. And we're really funded primarily from the corporate sector. So it gives us a really nice seat to sit in to be able to market the region as a whole. And we act a little bit like Switzerland in that we don't play sides. So, we're really looking at companies from outside the states and that are either relocating or they're looking to expand their operations. And so we start kind of up here at that, 20,000 foot level, and we tell them all about the region as a whole, whether it's demographics, workforce, real estate properties, incentives generally come into play, all of those things to help them make a decision. But our competition is Atlanta, Minneapolis, Dallas, Denver, LA, it's from outside this area. And then we help them to narrow down to find their perfect fit within the metro.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. Now, with your association, kind of tell me what's some of the core industry strengths for the KC region?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say one of the really neat things about the Kansas City area is that we have great diversity when it comes to our industries. I've been with KCADC, almost 23 years, which seems crazy at this point. But throughout all of that time, a lot of times we'll show a pie chart that shows the industry makeup of the United States, and then the pie chart for industry makeup of the Kansas City region, and we're almost a mirror image. And, that really helps us when it comes to consistency and for people being able to say, I know the certainty of that market. But when you look at what are, some really core strengths in this area, I would say certainly, especially in 2020, you look at food and beverage, e-commerce, and how important that is. We're a great rail hub in Kansas City as well, and a lot of air cargo comes in now to Kansas City. Advanced manufacturing, whether that's automotive, you think of GM and Ford and all the suppliers that float up to that, but also PPE manufacturing, there's plastics manufacturing, medical device manufacturing. We have really great manufacturing work in Kansas City. In fact, a lot of our projects currently in the pipeline are manufacturing. The animal health sector that we have in the Kansas City region represents 56% of the global industry is represented in the Kansas City area. And then financial insurance or financial services, insurance, shared service operations. So you think of it's almost like a mini headquarters. So you might have a company that has their marketing and their payroll and their sales division and maybe their creative division, but it's not necessarily a headquarters, but it's almost a headquarters. That'd be a shared service operation. So we see a lot of those. The global design build community, you think of the architecture, engineering, construction firms in Kansas City that are global firms and that are doing work globally. Very big strength for us. The creative firms, Barclay, VML, Y&R, Hallmark, So if you want to talk about the grandfather of creativity, it is Hallmark. And then certainly technology, whether that's pure tech company or a data center. We're seeing some activity for some of the big hyperscale data centers, and then really cybersecurity and the national security component is very strong in Kansas City.
Now, I'm sure you have initiatives too, right, when it comes to the association. So tell us a little bit about those and and explain what
Yeah,
those are.
absolutely. And, I touched on a couple of them a little bit earlier. We really have three, well, I guess four core initiatives. One, KC Smartport's been around probably 18 years. And we really looked at, again, the strength of the interstate highway, our air service when it comes to air cargo. And then we have 5 commercial class 1 rail providers in this area, which is really unusual. And so Smartport is, just a hallmark of the Kansas City region, and foreign trade zone space that's here in the Kansas City region is often important to whether it's manufacturers or assembly work that comes into the region. And then when you look at the animal health corridor, that's another one, again, looking at core strengths. And these initiatives, we have people within KCADC that dedicate their time completely to these initiatives. And so they're driving more business within Smartport, which would be anything transportation related, and within the animal health corridor. So you think about USDA and the relocation of 2 of their headquarters out of DC last year. Team KC, which is all about life and talent and helping our existing companies to have the right tools in place to attract talent, but also companies that we help to relocate or expand new businesses here. It's about helping them to attract the right talent and giving them the tools that they need. And then really, I talked a little bit about the National Security Crossroads, and that is, it's a coalition that both governors in Kansas and Missouri have supported. And it's about really showcasing these 2 states together as one, and showcasing the agility and resiliency and that cross-federal collaboration and innovation on federal secure mission work. So that was kind of probably more than you wanted.
No, that's great information. I love it. But how do you source your new projects?
Yeah, so they come in a lot of different fashions. I think one of our core attraction components is through site location consultants. And there are consultants across the country. We have a database of about 4,000 consultants that we market to and speak to regularly. We have about 200 firms that we are in touch with on a more regular basis. They probably make up 70 to 80% of our projects that come in. And a site consultant could be a firm, you think about Colliers or CBRE, or, it can be a real estate based firm, but they have a component that focuses on a group that advises companies about what they should do next. It can be an accounting firm, a law firm, boutique. All they do is site location work. And then we actually draw projects too from, some of our local partners. Certainly our local real estate community is extraordinary. And, you think about some of the construction teams. You might be in another market and somebody sits around the table and they say, oh, we're really struggling in XYZ community. And that person might say, have you looked at Kansas City? And then they loop us in. So sometimes they come, really kind of that homegrown capacity that way. We also were in the industries. So when you think again about Smartport, the animal health industry, we're in those industry portals where our team are, they're speaking globally to the benefits and to really what's happening in Kansas City around those initiatives. We attend right now. We're attending virtually conferences. We're reaching out virtually. We're speaking on different really industries when it comes to, again, federal attraction or cybersecurity or, financial services, all of those things. And then again, we rely on our community partners and we rely on our state partners. And it's a team sport. Economic development is a team sport. Nobody can ever say, I brought this deal.
Right.
We brought this project, because it takes a team to get it done.
How many team members do you have?
We have right at 25 team members, and we're a little bit bigger, I think, than some firms, but we're smaller than others. And again, we're regional, so we cover a bigger area in this metro. But we have not only our business development team, we have a whole marketing, PR, graphic design side of the house, which is an amazing asset for us. And so again, it's all about the team and pulling the team together.
Well, I've got another question for you because I'm interested to see how this has impacted you. Because I'm tired of talking about it, actually, because we always ask almost every one of our guests what this is. But the impact that COVID's had,
Yeah.
how has that changed your guys' game plan?
Yeah, absolutely. I saw a quote, gosh, maybe a month ago from Dan Schulman with PayPal, and he said, we went from being the Flintstones to the Jetsons in less than 9 months. It's like everybody
I love
has,
that.
yeah, right. Everyone is very savvy about communicating through the internet. And really, so our site visits, we've had some in-person site visits, but even our in-person site visits look very different. We might have one or two people, and then everybody else is connected via Zoom. And so, we're marketing differently. Normally, we would host consultants in other markets and in Kansas City. And so we've been doing that by Zoom. I'll tell you, we partnered up with Jay Rieger for a couple of what we would consultant happy hours. And Ryan Mabey and Andy Rieger, and then some of our local partners, we invited several of our out-of-market guests, and we sent them really a horse feather cocktail, all pre-made.
My favorite drink of all
I know,
time.
right? Is that not extraordinary? They are
That's
extraordinary.
And their location is awesome. You couldn't ask for a better place to take someone from out of town because it's just perfect.
But we did it virtually. So we did one on the East Coast. We did one Midwest. We're getting ready to ramp up another one on the West Coast. But when you have Andy Rieger come on and talk about, how he started his business and the history and how they changed things around to help the community during the crisis. And yet they're doing so much more. And he was really worried about just keeping his people on board. And then
I got to listen to him at the BOMA event, and he explained the whole history of his. It was a very good presentation. So
and there's nobody like Ryan Mabey who can make a cocktail for everybody. So we make that cocktail up front, and it's popular. I think we could do one a week.
I think he actually sells those already mixed. They're already pre-mixed to horse feathers. Yeah. So I had some the other day. We bought some down at the location. So with the Kansas City market, with Kansas City anyway, why and how do we win, and why and when do we lose?
Yes. Every project is different. I would say that everybody has a different trigger. So workforce is number one. I don't care who you're talking to or what kind of project you need. You need the people to be able to do the work, and you want them to have the skill sets. And so partnerships with education and partnerships with job training and, all of those things impact that. But sometimes I'll talk about the way sometimes we lose out of our control, and sometimes it's hey, here's a wake up of what you need to do to make your market better. Sometimes we lost a project earlier this year where they were going to hire 15 people in a technology type of operation, and the final 2 came down to us in Atlanta. Well, we're 2.5 million people. They are 4 times our size. And so when you're hiring 1,500 people and you want to ramp them up in less than 12 months, the company sometimes says, hey, it's a factor of population. We feel more confident going to Atlanta. And we can't change that. You can't change your stars that much.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about that.
Yes. But we've since talked to that client too, and they've said, you know what, this is going well, but we can see where we really still need to be in Kansas City because of all the assets that we talked about throughout the process. And so they'll probably come back with a smaller operation in Kansas City later this year. So, sometimes you lose, but you're going to win later. Sometimes it's been about air service. The new airport is a huge asset for us. It cannot, I'm like, gosh,
hurry up.
That's like triple time. Can't we back that up and open even sooner? Because we've lost many projects due to air service. I talked to a consultant 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I guess, before Christmas. And she said, you know what? We were looking at LA flights and where they fly direct and most frequently. Well, through this whole process, the old airport, we lost a lot of our direct flights. And so we weren't even in the mix on something like that. And so, there really are many things. Sometimes it's a factor of real estate. Do you have the right site, the right building?
Right.
Do you have the right educational program? We worked a project several years ago where it was us versus Dallas and I think it was Minneapolis. They need a central location and everything came out. Kansas City came on top. And then the company said, well, you know what? We've hired a manager. This manager is $1 million difference to us. And at the end of the day, and he lives in Dallas and his kids are in school and he will not move. And Dallas was our number 2 choice. So we're going with Dallas. Oh my gosh, you could pick me up off the floor at that time. It was so painful.
I bet you just met some amazing people over the years, though. I mean, getting to talk to the top companies coming into the town or possibly coming into town. So I'm sure the connections are still there, and I'm sure you get a lot of people coming back to us because we are in a great location right in the middle of the United States. So a lot of people, that's attractive to a lot of people. And even now with all the big companies, Amazon and everything that's taking place, we're a great location for stuff like that. So, but how is the KC Heart utilized or how did you select KC Heart as the brand for KC? I'm very interested to know this.
Yes. And so kudos to our whole marketing team on this. A couple of years ago, really it's been building for a few years, but you talk about other markets that are known for music or for being weird or for doing whatever that market might be. And people would say, well, what are you known for? And well, yeah, we're known for barbecue or we're known for, the Chiefs and the Royals and Sporting KC. And we're actually very well known for arts, for being a creative community and for art, performance art, ballet, symphony. We just have amazing arts in Kansas City. But depending on who you ask, everybody would say something different, and within technology, you're known for this, that, and the other. And within logistics, you're known for these things. And so really, we spent about a year and created this listening tour. And at the end of the day, we all came back to, it was really more about passion. It was more about the feeling people have and the pride people have in Kansas City. And, our team had reached out to Charlie Hustle and the whole team there and said, what if we took that Charlie Hustle heart and really put that heart as the brand for Kansas City? And they were like, where have you been? We've been trying to make this bigger all along.
Right.
And it's more than t-shirts, you know what I mean? And so the heart fit, no matter what you're doing. I heart the arts, or whatever. And so the heart became that mechanism that fit us so beautifully, and it was already there. So it wasn't something that needed to be sold where people would buy into it. And so KC.org has become an external lifestyle marketing website for us. Go check it out. You can become an ambassador.
We'll put that up on the screen. Let people go check it out.
Exactly. And so, follow your heart. Come to the Heartland.
Well, it's all over KC. So the marketing department did a fantastic job with it. So kudos to them. So, but I'm excited to know. So tell us what's ahead for our region. I want to know if you can share anything with us.
Yeah, happy to. So I'll tell you, even through all of the challenges of 2020, we really had a great year. And, we impacted about $123 million in new payroll, 3,300 new jobs, and close to $1 billion in new capital investment. So just an extraordinary year for Kansas City. And I think we're in that same role. We've got 3 or 4 projects that are getting ready to announce here in the next 3 to 6 weeks. And what we're seeing that's different this year is offices coming back. Thank heavens. Right. So we've opened, 3 new financial services types projects. We've had a couple that have been dormant for many, many months come back with great speed. And so, we're going to have better balance again. It's great to have all of the industrial type projects, and they certainly saved us throughout this last year, but we need the balance that we're known for.
Yes, we do.
We need that.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
I'm very high on 2021 and the years beyond.
I'm excited for it. Tell me something. How long have you lived in Kansas City? Now, I know are you from Oklahoma? Because I thought I read something that you went to OU. Is that right?
So I did Economic Development Institute through OU, but our president and CEO is an Okie. I guess he's not an Okie. He's an OU Sooner. But I grew up in the Chicago area and went to school at Indiana State.
Okay.
And we moved here, in 91. And honestly, my husband's from Oshkosh. And so when he was offered a job here, I was kind of like, I saw The Wizard of Oz, so you can turn that down. The Chicago girl going, there is nothing in the world that can make me go there.
Right.
And now I'm selling for this region. And so,
that's hilarious.
Have great passion for the Kansas City area.
So I don't want to get you in trouble, but can you share with everybody what's your favorite barbecue in Kansas City?
Oh, yeah.
Since we are known for barbecue, what's your favorite?
Gosh, I would say I have many favorites for different reasons. Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm the same way. It depends on what I'm eating. I like certain things at certain places. So.
Well, and I used to always argue, with the former mayor, with Mayor James, and he would, he's a big Arthur Bryant's, and
I love Arthur Bryant's sauce.
Yeah, I think that's a guy's thing too. So I love
Sweet.
Q39. Yeah, right.
Q39 is my favorite. Yeah.
I love Fiorella's. I think, and maybe this isn't a barbecue thing, but I love their salmon. We love their burnt ends.
I have never tried that. I have to try it.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. Joe's KC, the Z-Man, the French fries to die for. So, I'd go.
You know your way around your barbecue, don't you?
Sisters. Oh, and if you want burnt end chili, it's right off of I-35 on the west side in KCK on Miriam. What's the name of it?
I'm trying to think. I don't know.
Boy, that's going to just haunt me. I'll tell you in about 10 minutes when we get off the call.
We'll plug it in there.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
Well, I know that you're a very busy lady. You keep yourself busy, but what do you do to relax? Do you do anything fun? Besides work?
I'm not a big sleeper, which is a good thing. So
you can't with what you do.
Yeah. And, I'm an arts junkie. There is no doubt about it. I love the ballet, the symphony, Broadway, the Rep, Starlight, but I love sports. So, definitely. And the nice thing about when you come from Chicago and you come to Kansas City is we're not competing against each other unless it's World Series or, the Super Bowl.
That's right.
And so, I can keep those old affiliations, but be huge, Chiefs, Royals, Sporting KC. Got a son in the military, have a daughter-in-law that's extraordinary. We do a lot of things to support trying to stop veteran suicide.
Well, that's nice.
Love KCUIA, the, Urban Youth Academy here in Kansas City. What a great, great institution there.
Well, we'll put that website up on the screen too, so people can check that out.
Do.
But make sure you thank your son for his services.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Well, Jill, that's all I've got, unless you have anything else you want to plug. But I really appreciate you coming on our show.
I really appreciate being asked.
I think ever since I got to know who you were, every time I see that heart, I think of you. So
great.
So it's been great. You guys are doing a fantastic job. So keep up the good work.
Thank you.
All right. Well,
here's to you. Thank you. I hope you have a great year as well.
Well, I hope we all have a good 2021. It can't get any worse, I wouldn't think.
I know. Knock on wood, though, on that one.
Yeah. All right. I will. But thanks again. And then everybody out there, I'm going to put your information up on the screen if that's okay, Jill, for them to reach out to you, and the website as well.
Anytime.
But audience, please go out and like, share, follow us. We'd love to hear what you think of our show. But until next time, Jill, thanks again.
Thank you.
All
Have
right.
a great day.
Okay. Bye-bye.